What happens if you've got your home listed at 400 and you get offers at 450? And the appraised value is probably going to come in around 400 because that's why your realtor set the listing price about there, is because that's where the comps were at. And chances are that you are going to appraise low. So how do you make sure you get the actual offer amount at 450? How do you secure that amount? Well, there's a couple of sad stories I'm going to tell you about. That I had a couple of friends. One of them was a neighbor, been a neighbor for years. Wanted to save some money, went with Homey. They are a good deal. I mean, they charge less, but you know, a lot of things go wrong when you go with a discount broker. So he got an offer. He got several offers in the first week. 360. Appraisal came in 340, but it was an FHA appraisal. So those appraisals, they stick to the home for 4 months. Even if you like ditch that buyer and go with another buyer and they're an FHA loan, the appraisal's gonna stay there. So suppose you know, he was already under contract. He was gonna build another house. So he didn't want to start all over with a new buyer. So, you know, they went ahead and they lowered the price 20 grand. They lost $20,000 on the deal. The other friend, he had an offer $16,000 over what the appraisal came in at. The realtor they used, he offered to sell it for 1% listing fee, you know, which, you know, that's hard to beat 1%. I sell at 2%. So, but on a $400,000 home, that's an extra 4 grand. He lost 16 by going with that other realtor. So how did he lose it? Well, in the contract, there's something called the appraisal contingency. And if that is not waived, then the buyers are getting a loan on the property, and they're going to get an appraisal, and they're probably depending on that appraisal to come in at full value, at the full offer price, in order for their lender to approve that loan. So you can waive that appraisal contingency if you're going to pay cash. So, but lenders are going to require an appraisal on the property, and that's just the way it goes. So if you need a loan on the property, you can, you know, you got to leave that contingency in there. Some people will go ahead and put that it's waived, but you know, if the buyer loses their earnest money in the deal, that's something. But in the long run, we really want the deal to go through. Like if you're the seller and you're gonna go to all the trouble of listing your home, cleaning it up, showing it, going under contract, you've probably got dates that you want to meet. You probably got plans that you have. And if that buyer, you know, he drops out of the deal because the appraisal comes in low, even if it's been waived, yeah, he loses his earnest money, but you know, he can still back out of the deal because of the financing contingency. So if the appraisal comes in low and you don't have it secured in the contract through the proper addendum, there's a brand new addendum came out a couple months ago. It's called the Appraisal Addendum, and it allows for the buyer to come in over asking price, even whether they're getting a loan or not, and it shows the gap amount that they are going to cover in cash. So the way I do it is I get that appraisal addendum signed by the buyer, and I require proof of funds. I want to see in their bank account that they have enough money. So if they're going to offer $30,000 over asking price, I want to see they have $30,000 extra dollars in the bank to cover that, plus their down payment, plus their closing costs. Because in this market, buyers are paying their own closing costs, and they're paying their down payment, which is probably 5% of the value of the home, the sale price of the home. So why are appraisals coming in lower than the asking price, the list price? Well, or not the listing price, the offer price, sorry. People are offering so much higher than the list price. Well, appraisers, they're basing their appraisal on homes that have closed in the last, 60 days. And usually in the last so you're already 2 months behind probably on some of these comps. But then add in another, 30 to 45 days before that, that's when the home actually was listed on the market. And then it closes 45 days later, another, within that 60 days. So now you're looking at 90 days for the comps that we're using for the appraisal that he's using to give you a value on your property. So those are really, behind the times by this point. We're moving so quickly with our values here at least here in Utah, that the appraisers can't keep up with the speed of the market changing. It's just, yeah. So if you want to get above asking price, above the appraised value on your home, you want to secure it. You don't want to lose that gap. Yeah, make sure you have a realtor who knows about the addendums. And yeah, that's just the way it is right now. It's important. You got to have somebody that's studying constantly keeping up with the changes in the market, constantly keeping up with the new forms and new addendums that are available to you. And then know how to show, proof of funds, get those secured in the offer, in the contract. Anyway, so if you have any questions, you can give me a call, text me, check out my website at jenhuntrealtor.com, and have a super fantastic week.